What's going on, y'all? Philip here.
Hi, Julia here. So, I'm sure a lot of you guys have heard of HelloFresh. So we jumped on the HelloFresh trend, and because we got a really nice coupon, so we got our first box, and so far we are not very impressed. So these 3 meals here cost about $55. So basically each meal, so this is $15 and this is supposedly a premium because it had beef. However, as you can see, we paid extra $15 for this meal. And as you can see how much beef we got, this is not much beef, right, for 2 people. And $55 for this amount of grocery, I'm just not very impressed. So for example, this meal, you look really good, right? Homestyle chicken and bisque pot pie. But let's check out the ingredients that we received. So we have a very small onion, and look how little celery stick we got. It's just not much vegetable, and it's like even the biscuit can is a small one. It's not much food for 2 people. For people who are busy like the 2 of us and who bring food to work. So basically we had to take all 3 meals with us. This is just not much food. And this meal is gonna take prep 10 minutes, cook 15 minutes. So an hour to prepare, and an hour just for 1 meal with no leftover. Which honestly not much vegetable. Just look how tiny this is. This is probably one of the smallest onion I've seen. It just kind of doesn't make sense for us. So I think going forward, we probably won't be doing HelloFresh again. Our other recipe, this one with the popcorn custard beef tenderloin, you have to cook the potato in a pot and then roast the Brussels sprouts in the oven, and then you have to use a different pot to cook your beef. So basically, right, so you have to wash 3 pots for 1 meal, and then you have to turn the oven just for this tiny teeny bag of Brussels sprout. For literally how many? For 7 Brussels sprout head. I have to turn on the oven for 10 minutes to preheat and cook this for 10 minutes, just for this tiny amount of Brussels sprouts. And also when this came, it came in a massive box with a lot of packing in it. We think it's very not environmentally friendly. It has a lot of insulations to keep it cold.
Yeah.
So while we understand it might be fun for more people, this is honestly, even with the 50% off, it's still pretty expensive, and the portion size is pretty small, and the preparing time is pretty long. So we're probably gonna stick with our microwavable food we buy from Costco, which is a lot cheaper.
Yeah, and even buying in bulk from Costco, you can buy a lot more ingredients, and maybe it's more annoying to cook it all at the same time, but then you don't have to deal with cooking it every single day.
Exactly, and you just have more leftover, and I'm not saying HelloFresh is bad, I'm just saying it's not suitable for our lifestyle.
Yeah, definitely. If you like trying different things, they have a ton of different options on their website.
Yeah.
They're definitely proportioned well, I think.
Yeah.
So it's a good amount of food for eating, 1 or 2 meals.
But again, for people like us who have to cook all 3, bring all 3 meals for 2 people, so that's 6 meals a day.
Yeah.
And
these cats.
Right, just having 2 meals shipped to us, it just doesn't make sense for our lifestyle.
Yeah, and being home at the right time to make sure you get the box is a little bit annoying. We were several hours late, so it was starting to get a little soggy out there with all the ice packs that were in it and all that.
I absolutely cannot get over it. I got 4 sticks of celery, and that's supposedly to be enough for pot roast.
All right, but we're gonna chef it up and see how it comes out. So all right, see ya.
So we're about halfway through cooking it. I'm on this step now. I feel like I spot some inefficiency, right? Again, as 2 working adults, the time we have at home after work is so precious and so valuable. So I can't really, stay here for 55 minutes just cooking it, right? So here it asks you to cook the chicken first. and then take it to a bowl, like transfer it to a plate, and then cook the vegetable. And then add the chicken back with the vegetable, and then cook the sauce. I think that's like super inefficient. Why not just cook these two together? That would save me, right, 5 to 7 minutes of cooking time, and that would also save me some time from making the filling. Also, this stuff, you never told you to turn on the oven, right? At least I don't see it in the recipe of telling you to turn on the oven. So if you know, like, you just blindly following the recipe, you get a good step and then realize you haven't turned on the oven yet. So here I am also preheating the oven. It's not on the recipe. So here is the vegetable. It's actually a good amount of food. Like, I feel like I kind of got it wrong. I thought it's less food. Again, I just always cook such huge portions because I cook once on the weekend, and that's pretty much it. I kind of forgot how much food it can be. But it is looking pretty good right now. Oh, and another problem, right? So, for example, this recipe calls specific pot. It needs a pot that can cooking and then put in the oven. This is the only one I have that can also be put in the oven, and it's pretty big for the portion size. So, like my ingredients in this pot just doesn't look like it's a lot. I don't have the pot that it requires to make it. So, well, it is what it is, and hopefully I don't need a whole hour to cook it. Hopefully I can get this done in 30 minutes rather than an hour. Okay, so we just put this out of the oven. So instead of like, an hour, I think I actually spent about like 20 minutes cooking it, and then like overall it took about 40 minutes. So it looks delicious, and we're gonna try to see whether or not it actually tastes good or not. Yep, paper plate from Costco, because I don't want to do dishes. Philip don't want to do dishes, so paper plate it is. All right, let's try it. Too hot.
How does it taste?
It actually tastes really good, and I really like this recipe. I think again, like the only problem I have with it is the portion size is too small, right? Like on the thing, you can see the biscuits are covering the entire thing, and then you can see mine. I literally only have like 5 biscuits. So I think the portion size is a bit too small for us. However, it's delicious. I would definitely cook it again. This is not a recipe I would have made if like I didn't have the ingredients sent to me. So I can see that like some people like HelloFresh to explore more cooking options, which definitely makes sense. I think this would be optimal if you have time, you like to explore new recipe. Yeah, so I think like maybe 3 times a week is pretty good, and it's really good. Or if you have kids who are like a high school kid who want to learn how to cook, I think this is a wonderful way to get people to start cooking. It is very not intimidating, very easy instructions to follow, even though I do think that they can combine some steps to make the cooking time shorter. Overall, again, great. Maybe not for us, but I'm glad we tried it.
Yeah, thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next one. Bye, Lucky. Meow. Wink.